This is to show my Threads account. It started on 17th of July. It was a mere coincidence, but I did think of hers several times for several reasons. So I started it then. I started it. It developed into a more civil law concentrated web appearance, cutting things short, doing many bits and pieces, and a number of which show possibilities of possible claimabilities if found interesting enough, either due to the money countable. For example, what does one earn as a professor during a lifespan of over also 40 years? For certain, much more than a teacher. So it would easily go into the millions, and have there some cases more. For example, one former RAF member member, then one really has to think: do we want to have left our money there, where then it would have been a catastrophe if that would have come out, and a kind of scandal that it indeed was possible for an RAF to earn here a Beamtengehalt on maybe also no grounds, just because of having been savvy. No, not savvy, but dreist, having been anything enough. So those posts, if one would want to find those and collect those for comparing reasons only, one would scroll for the expression "with courtesy," which from my side is a kind of pointer. Indeed, there is something British here, and indeed, if one buys things appointed by the Queen over in England, one does pay a sum, because those things had been appointed before for being able to bear such a stamp. So with courtesy, it does not mean for free. Yeah, this is what it says. Also, I cannot work for free here. I cannot have work for free. One has to formulate. This is my handwriting. This is sometimes unfortunate. Sometimes one really cannot read it. Also here, this is also an expression of computer criminality, because if I use a camera, which I can do, I would not use it overhead, but would use it normally. So this is turned, yeah. I could undo it, but sometimes it doesn't function. Really, you have to do it here with non-pedagogues. This is for certain. They are not able to deal with people. With me, they are not at all able to deal, which is really not too difficult. So why are they not able to deal with my person? Well, for this reason, they want let me freak out once in a while. This is what is intended. And this evening I just did a video showing but another official here in German public life. Also not quite unimportant, because it concerns the whole of the police, and if restricted to North Rhine-Westphalia. that shows a thing or two. In his case, likely his daughter has been a former law colleague of mine. Then already, having been on the lookouts for even becoming me or wearing but a similar trouser than me, and it was not just an ordinary jeans, but a kind of an eye catcher. If in a gedeckte Farbe, in a brownish tone. And I could wear it, yeah. I had then already the figure. She on her she is not a 171 woman, but a much smaller one. Then, but here they seem to be willing to change certain things on behalves, and in my case on disbehalves. And this really makes me a little bit angry, I must say, because I now on grounds I can say, well, it was fed in a lot from my side. On criminal grounds. One could have asked me for anything anytime, and either one would have received a yes, a maybe, tell me more, or a clear no. And as regards pornographing me in my own flat even, or where I halfway could think I can go here, it is of course not okay, and I cannot leave that uncommented. In my case, untackled. So here, as early as one day before my birthday, on the 18th of July, I would do this post showing the crypto bubbles app, which was designed by a guy from Bavaria, if the information was correct. And I found it indeed after a mountain bike tour to Eisenach. I would sit here for a couple of hours and find a couple of nice apps, some of which I lost immediately, others I kept. And this is really a very interesting one. It is also nice to look at. And it shows that there are too many cryptos on the market, and some of which receive a push. For example, Bonk. Yeah, it would not be on the psychotic side to assume that when I was having my bank account written with a Q at the end, it was in the same period indeed when Bonk was developing. Yeah, here, look at that. Yeah, it is enormous, 7.7 and something. So here I then would shortly leave the German civil law side and take a look over to India and Russia and Gulf region, anywhere where the really rich people are living, and suggesting, well, one has to be careful as of these days. I've pulled out of crypto halfway. Also because I cannot really handle it. I'm not a broker. So honestly, Men's World, where are you? Yeah, you really could have done me better, done me anything. You did not at all. What is wrong with you? It is completely a stupidity. Completely a stupidity. Yeah. What is that? This is my computer. Idiots, yeah, mere idiots. They gave me 4 years of nonsense in the homelessness care home center, not telling me that one is able to earn there a night or two when certain gatherings take place, and if one is informed properly, one can think, do I want or don't I? I was not told anything, not anything. So the idea there was to let participate people uh, well, I did not get anything there, but they would pour out money gathered from elsewhere, promising that they would sleep with Naomi Campbell that night, whilst the lady underneath, not me though, because yeah, I just reconstruct, whilst the lady underneath was just any person having been trained how Naomi Campbell would move upon which movements. Yeah, this is how far things have gotten here. I find that it is close to the Tierreich. It is off-putting. Unfortunately, it is only off-putting. Off-putting. And one gets angry when having lost a 40,000 worth household, in my case, my first household, and having to gather everything over years, whilst teenies, yeah, get access to rooms and chambers where the stuff is distributed to, and make themselves more attractive for men even, yeah, not for schoolboys like them, but for real huge proper men. This is prostitution, and it is maybe the case that Thuringia is famous for that, but no one told me and no one informed me that it was on that. So it took me years to realize that this can indeed have been the case, and had I known that, I don't know how I would. I might have laid preference to moving out as soon as possible out of this county, other than thinking, well, where else shall I go here? I don't really have a clue, so I stay here and make myself a nice home again, which took years because I had not gotten my money, which I deserve. So it took indeed long to get anything which I wanted. Bought by myself again, of course. So that one, for example, because it is not only for letting take part, but it is also for kind of researchers. Yeah. For example, in the field where no one has a clue, which is biochemistry. Here's a nice possibility to pay me. But I must say, I did several attempts, and either the account was closed or elsewise hindered that I earn here anything other than taking part in prostitution. This is me, so I wanted to indicate that indeed it is me and that I'm still living despite it all. Here I drop names in formulations that did not allow for closing the account. Well, I still have it. So that person that was made to have a stay there during my time, I found out on grounds of my very mind map that so one thing leads to the other. Yeah, maybe the mind map would not have come into existence without those threads here. So the guy there, I could indeed redirect to but one primary school teacher of mine, namely her husband, which would make him outstanding. But as far as I'm concerned, had I known that, but I did not know. He could have told me, and he better ought have, because I then could have told him a thing or two, making him behave even better. So when he was among those envying me that I was so very much important in my Lower Saxony area and so very much beloved, then I would have argued and anecdoted otherwise, or kind of balancing wise. So this is the state of minds they are here in. They might be intelligent otherwise, but as far as this personal and human level is concerned, it's vastness. You cannot deal with those people. So envying me from over here back to there, preparing me that scenery, if for and had he be forefronted, which is likely, not impossible, likely, it is a completely a disaster what those people did with me. I even might recall odd behavior of but two supervisors there, as if astounded the other morning that I was still living. I dislike those people. I must say I'm not I'm misplaced here. I have to find a way to get out here. It would be better for Germany if I would be enabled to doing so, because it's my wish. I am misplaced here. I don't belong here. Oh yeah, here I give a paragraph. Yeah, you could have done it like this, simply paying me. One would combine it to the Goa, yeah, which means not India, but which is pointing to 675 BGB. But to date, it is almost impossible to address the government, and if only the Thuringian one, because they would simply smile and rebuff me, because they are feeling so secure here on those grounds done by those people. It appears. I'm totally pissed off in this country, I must say. Totally pissed off. This one this one was a former law study colleague, the friend of the one that was too small as compared to me. I'm not tall though. Was looking halfway like a swine, if one is honest. Might have gotten changed her looks for exchanging reasons, because she is then with her now long blonde hair, if she was she, but I presume that very much. She is now on the ways of becoming but one neighbor's daughter of mine in Lower Saxony, who was the prettiest of us four, and she had that beauty signifier long blonde hair. Now Eva Großbernd from Kassel has it. Maybe having lost her swine's looks, maybe having gotten rid of her skin condition, which was very visible. I don't mean to the ugly side, but it was very visible and it disturbed her. And it made her appear, well, don't appear in public because it looks odd. So the idea probably is to exchange her against anyone important, and this would of course be me. Yeah, not because I was important or I am too important, but just for the storytelling of it all. Yeah, so all of a sudden, Imke Anne Wilma Westermann, having aspired and having done too much. Yeah, Eva Großbern just got here into positions and now she can be her. If being supported by the body of the German police, yeah, being led by her father, having presided the Gewerkschaft of the police for nearly a decade, starting, interestingly, in 2007, when I was coming back from the UAE and got an ill-fated treatment here, even by closer friends, if I could call them friends. But for certain, I can say they were the most important fellow students because we would chat once in a while after classes. So have tried to freak me out, and I can say I'm pissed off. It was a freak out. It was a really severe attempts done over several weeks, repetitiously pushing up my blood pressure. If I was indeed my mother, if I had been indeed my mother, I would be dead by now. But I'm a low pressured woman. I'm a low blood pressured woman. And in contrast to a teacher, I could deal with the matter differently than any other person because I sit on knowledge of German law. So I could sort it into categories, which I did, but due to the masses of impressions confronted with, it is still not ready. This is what you can experience in Germany, and had anyone told me anything like that before, I simply would not have believed it. I simply would not have believed it. So here is a Schreiben to a email provider and a website provider, because I recalled having been met in a shop and invited to someone's home, and there we would sit and construct a website, and then nothing more was said. Also, not that it would cost anything, because one can do it without money also. And all of a sudden, this is but one position, one figure in my debt problem. Then, as early as 2007, began to being created. So they would likely use that website to once in a while put my texts on, of which I would have had no clue, because I was left in the dark as to where the computer criminality efforts came from. So what I mean is a kind of triology I formulated. Pushing up the blood pressure, one. Second, taking care that, what was it? It was threefold and an endangerment. Three factors. it is in a text that is concerning the time frame commencing with 2007 and concentrating on former fellow students here. Second, preparing grounds for a self-murder attempt, which would have been an illusion back, which would have alluded back to the mother of the first lady out of the streak of yesterday, the streak of brunettes. The streak may be transformable into a Möbius ribbon, thereby suggesting that one can indeed exchange ideas here. Whilst people in between, if one only takes brunettes, or other people being placed in the position of those very brunettes that I knew, being in the Möbius ribbon around a circle, folded halfways, that one would arrive at so-called hashtag positions there, and on any hashtag position which was not your former, your previous one, you for certain would not feel well unless you were the daughter of a former RF professor, not eligible for having been a professor, and being of course on the looks out for new IDs. Or a second or third IDs, because this year has been as if an industrialization of things, stripping other people's of their very work results. So now I have to recall the third possibility, intention behind stress her out, on a scale, the end of which was a murder attempt, at least, letting appearable, cannot say that, as a self-murder. Here I show two impressions. My room, people who knew me since long would recognize that. Maybe also a good test, yeah. How does react this person to that? So here the text I was writing then, it's probably already one in English, because after the Liste IAW alle Texte, comprising all those texts concerning German affairs, written in German and later ones in English. Concerning German affairs means dealing with criminal law matters first. Because otherwise one can fuck the whole idea, getting money from elsewhere, claiming wise on grounds of having read a bit or two out of my reconstruction. Without proper law cases with the real person involved, one can simply fuck it, yeah? In that case, I would have done 5 years more in vain. Simply in vain. Just entertaining for the mere entertaining, feeding into the entertainment industries here,